Hello and welcome to Fresh Perspectives. My name is Gail, and my guest today is a young lady named Victoria Parker. And our topic of the day is the Busti Apple Harvest Festival, I'm going to say. And she tells me they don't always use the word harvest in the name of it. But I guess we can call it both of those things if we want to. Thank you for appearing on Fresh Perspectives today, Victoria. Now, are you on a committee that plans and organizes this festival?
Yes. So the Busti Historical Society hosts the Busti Apple Festival or the Busti Apple Harvest Festival. People use both names. And so I'm currently the education director, but I'm also on the demonstrator committee and help organize the historical demonstrators for the event. And it's kind of a group effort.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to mention that she's wearing her Busti Apple Festival t-shirt. You can see on the front of it, there's an apple with the name of the festival. And if you'd like to stand up, turn around, yes, so you can see that it has a cute picture on the back. That must be one of the buildings.
Yes.
At where you have the festival.
Yeah, that's the grist mill.
So the grist mill, okay. It kind of looks like a cute old house.
Yeah. The Busti Historical Society was formed to save the mill. So that's our logo is the picture of the mill, and that's what we're all focused around is the mill.
Well, that sounds like a really great idea, and let's see. I wanted you, before I have a chance to not think about it, and we come to the end of the time for the interview, I would like you to mention for the viewing audience's knowledge where they can go to find information about the festival.
Facebook, Busti Historical Society, or our website, bustihistoricalsociety.weebly.com. You just Google it, it'll pop up.
Okay. So what date will the festival be held?
So the Apple Festival is always the last weekend in September. So this year it's the 27th and 28th.
The 27th and 28th. Okay, and what are the hours during the day?
From 10 to 5. So we are starting an hour earlier this year. It's always been 11 to 5. So we decided to open the gates an hour early and get an extra hour of Apple Festival.
Oh, okay. So it's, say that time again?
10 to 5.
10 to 5. Both days?
Both days, yeah, okay. Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, that's good. Because I remember when I worked for the Resource Center and I started that, I did that all throughout the 1980s and 1990s. And, we would bring Resource Center people over to it, and I think they had a good time. And one year, I forgot that it was, I wasn't sure, I guess I didn't really know. I always thought it was always the 2 days. And so we went over on Saturday, and there was nothing going on. That was back in the days when it was just on Sundays.
It always used to be just on Sundays, just on Sunday. It was always the last Sunday in September. And this is our third year of doing a 2-day festival. So it's been really good. And we've got a lot of people that said, I could never make it on Sunday, but I can come Saturday.
Oh, yeah, you never know. Yeah, different people have different schedules, yeah. So how many years has the festival been going on?
So this is our 51st festival. It started in 1972. It was called the Pioneer Arts Festival or Pioneer Crafts Festival. And it was a very similar idea. It turned into the Apple Festival a while after that, but we've been holding the festival every year except COVID, of
For
course.
51 years.
Yep, this is
Okay.
our 51st.
Okay, well, I happen to know that you must not have been born yet when they first started having the festival, because I know you're not
No.
more than 51 years old. Okay, and basically you just explained what the history of it was. Now it was a grist mill.
Yes.
They ground grain, was it?
Yep. So the Historical Society was founded to save the mill. The Busti Grist Mill was in operation from 1839 until 1950s.
Oh, wow.
And then it shut down, and there was this really cool building that was just falling apart. And some 4-H students started a project to save the mill, and that became the Busti Historical Society. And the girls of the Busti Shamrocks 4-H Club were instrumental in starting the process, and it was a big undertaking to restore the mill. So the mill restoration finished in 2014.
Oh, wow.
And we grind grain on site: corn, wheat, buckwheat, and rye. And you can buy grain that we ground at the mill. You can watch us. We'll be grinding grain during the festival. You can see the mill operate.
Okay, so basically, wow. So can you only buy grain there during the festival, pretty much?
No, so traditionally the festival has been our big event. So there wasn't much going on the rest of the year. We're doing more things now. Over the summer we have Grinding Day. It's the third Sunday of the month, May through August.
Okay.
And that you can just come watch us grind and buy flour. And we added some kids' activities this year. This fall we're going to do some workshops and have a Halloween tour, and then there's a Christmas event in the beginning of December.
Oh.
So
Okay.
we have a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, the Christmas event, is that an indoor thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So our miller's house, so the mill, the guy that built the mill built a house across the street for the miller to live in. And we're restoring that house to what it looked like when it was built in the 1850s. And so we decorate that for Christmas, and we sell Christmas cookies, and then there'll be some crafts for the kids. You can see the museum, and you can make reindeer food with the grain ground at the mill, and it's a fun event and inside. So
Does anybody ever bring reindeer to it?
we haven't had any show up.
Okay.
Do you have any reindeer connections though?
Yeah, I'm not sure where you would go about
Yeah.
getting any, but maybe somebody who has some might see this episode of Fresh Perspectives and volunteer to start doing that. Okay, when I was bringing Resource Center people that lived in a group home that I worked at to it, it didn't seem like there was very many vendors. This was like in the 1980s, but I understand it's grown.
It has. So if you haven't come for a few years, we used to have our vendors on the road, and it was problematic for a number of reasons. That doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
So we line the grounds with our vendors. There's over 100. There's crafts and food vendors, food trucks, and so you can come spend the whole day and have lunch and a snack for later.
Wow. I haven't been there in a long time. You know how it is. Life happens, so you don't get around to doing everything you used to do. And my husband and I don't work for the Resource Center anymore because we're in our 70s. So, but okay, so people can get apples there.
Yeah, the Busti Cider Mill brings apples and apple cider. The Historical Society makes pies. You can buy a slice of pie or a whole pie to take home.
Is it mostly apple pies?
There's apple pies and other fruit pies.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what kinds of apples what varieties of apples there are?
I knew I
Or-
should have done
or-
my homework. I
Yeah,
am.
I have to tell you, Victoria got lined up just a couple of days ago for this program. Somebody else was scheduled to be here and wound up scheduling herself to do something else on the same day, so she asked Victoria to come on. So anyways.
There is a variety of kinds of apples. I'm just not sure which ones they are.
Oh, okay. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who are some of the craft vendors and what do they make?
So it's all handmade crafts. We do have a few commercial vendors now as well, but there's everything you can think of at the Busti Apple Festival. So it's always a good variety. There's several new ones this year, so there should be new, exciting things to buy. We also have the country store but that benefits the Historical Society. That's handmade items. There's everything. Baby blankets and cross stitch and hats and I'm amazed every year we walk around. I didn't even know that was the thing you could buy, but
yeah,
great.
there is somebody that I know that told me that she usually did the Busti Apple Harvest Festival. I don't know if she's still doing it or not, but she was selling ceramics.
Yeah, there's usually some pottery and ceramics and some of everything. There's
Tie-dyed clothing.
Yep, I haven't seen the list for this year, but I think so. There's, like I said, we do have several new
Jewelry,
ones, but
maybe?
there's several returning. There's jewelry. I think you could buy almost anything at the Apple Festival, and it's a great place, to start your holiday shopping too. So,
Yeah. We went to. My husband and I and a couple of our friends went to Fun Fest on the 15th of September last year at Lilydale. And they had a lot of vendors there. And I don't know how any of them sold much of anything because most of them had the same kind of stuff. It was mostly crystals and things like that.
Yes.
So but you have a nice wide variety.
Yeah, it's a good variety. We try not to have too many duplicates. So, when they check before. I'm not on the vendor committee, but they do a pretty good job of selecting high quality stuff that hopefully people want to buy.
Yeah. Do any of them? Do you know of? Do they sell dried flower arrangements and stuff? I've seen that at craft shows.
Yeah, I know for sure. There's a vendor that sells wreaths. She's a member of the Historical Society. She'll be there, but I'm not sure otherwise. Like I said, I haven't seen the list, and it does change from year to year.
I suppose.
So.
Sometimes people have to retire from
or
doing
something
it.
comes up.
and-
You have a wedding that weekend or something, so you miss a year and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but we have a lot of returning vendors and several new ones. So.
Oh, that's good. Now, I understand your mom still makes the miniature items for doll houses.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met the two of you, she was doing that. And they were always so cute. I remember the first time I met her, she had like a little itty bitty pair of eyeglasses. And she had like a little wire basket with little tiny eggs in it and things like that. It was
so we still
cute.
make dollhouse miniatures. Unfortunately, we don't have a booth at the festival because we're busy doing other stuff. So we have our demonstration building, it's a big barn in the middle, and full of historic demonstrators. And so we're usually breaking flax, showing the process of how flax turns into linen, or doing something else similar. So we don't have a booth, but we'll be there working away.
Okay. Yeah, that should be very interesting. Okay, so some of these are kind of old-fashioned things that are being, crafts that are being kept alive by people who are interested in continuing to do
festival,
them.
part of our goal is to educate people on the way things used to be. So we have the Miller's House. It's being restored. That we have somebody in there giving tours. We have a whole museum that you can tour, and then we have the demonstration building, and we do historical demonstrations. So there'll be somebody pressing cider. There's a leather worker, a woodworker, some gunsmiths, there's quilters, there's basket making, and there's people that are demonstrating these things. And that varies from year to year too, just depending on who's available.
Right.
This year we're hoping to get our printing press running. So
A printing press?
Yes.
You have a printing press?
we do. So this year, hopefully, we have all the parts. It's gonna, we'll be demonstrating that. And there's antique tractors to look at. There's antique farm equipment to see, all sorts of things like that. And this year, the Hazeltine Library is going to do story time, which is new and exciting.
What do they do that a couple times
So
during the day?
it'll be inside the Miller's house on Saturday. It's at 11, and then on Sunday they're going to be in the museum at 1 o'clock doing story time.
Oh, okay.
We have musicians, just a group that plays throughout the day on Saturday, and then the Doodle Sticks Dulcimer Band plays Sunday afternoon in the Miller's house and play dulcimer music.
So it's really nice that you're keep doing upkeep on these historical buildings.
Yeah.
So anyways, I guess we could probably go to the pictures now.
Yeah.
When Chris brings them up for us.
Yeah. So there's the Busti Mill.
This is the grist mill.
Yep.
Yeah. It looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
From the picture.
That is the mural on the back of the mill.
Oh, okay.
Accident Flower.
That was the original name of the company?
No, that was the flour company.
Okay.
So it was in operation as the Busti Mill.
Okay.
And then there's some pictures from a festival a couple of years ago, some vendors. You can see part of the demonstration building in the background there.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's, again, another picture from the festival. That's our pavilion. That's where the apples are. That's an important feature.
Okay, okay, so that's where people go to buy the apples.
Yeah, apples and cider. You can buy a glass of cider or a jug of cider to take home. And then we usually have our food vendors in that area too. I think you can see a couple in that picture.
Oh, yeah.
So it's between the mill and the museum building. We fill that with food vendors, as well as the apples and the cider.
Okay.
That's all the, yeah.
And there's
our poster.
Your poster. Busti Apple. Come enjoy an old-fashioned
afternoon.
Afternoon. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, are you using this printing press to print up your posters?
Not yet.
Not
Hopefully
yet.
next year.
Hopefully next year. Okay. So, you're not really doing much with it yet then?
Yeah. So last year was the first time we had some people from another museum come and look at it, and they brought a small press to demonstrate, and they said, you can get this running. So we've ordered the parts. They're not able to make it this year, but I think our members are gonna work on it. Some of the trustees and I are working on it, and we're so it should be operating and have something to hand out.
Oh, good. That sounds really, really interesting. Now, okay, you're with the Busti Historical Society. Then what else do you do then? I assume that the festivals that you have are not the only thing you do. There's more to it than that.
Yes. So the Busti Historical Society, we have a meeting the first Wednesday of every month, March through December. We take January and February off so we don't have to plow the driveways. First Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. And then we're starting more other programs. This fall, there's a fall wreath making event in October. We're going to do Halloween at the Mill. So family-friendly, non-scary Halloween event. We're going to tell Grimm's fairy tales, be costumed actors, and there several fairy tales are related to mills. Right? The Nixie of the Mill Pond, and in the story of Rumpelstiltskin, she was the miller's daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, they're connected.
Wow.
So we're going to tell some Grimm fairy tales, and we'll have some refreshments and a kids' craft afterwards. That's the October 26th. And then in November, we're going to do a bookmaking class. And then in December, there's a wreath making class, ornament making, and then our Christmas at the Mill event, old-fashioned Christmas event. We sell cookies and have the buildings open for tours. And it's always a good time. So we held our first historical lecture this summer. It went really well, so we're hoping to do more next year.
Good. Yeah, those are always interesting. I know people who love to go to historical lectures.
Yeah.
Let me think here. So you must do something besides being with the Busti Historical Society. What else do you do?
So I am Education Director for Busti, and I'm also the Administrative Assistant and Custodian for the Westfield First Presbyterian Church.
Oh, for the First Presbyterian Church. Is that the one across the street from the library?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. We were talking to Randy Burt before we started the interview, and he does a lot of things over there now. So you probably see him a lot.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. The Lakeshore Center for the Arts rents part of the Presbyterian Church educational building, and so I see Randy when he's coming in to do other stuff, and they do a lot up there too.
Yeah, so are you involved in some of the projects that they do there?
Yeah, I've been in a few things. This year I'm going to be on Westfield's cemetery tours.
Westfield has cemetery tours?
Yes, so it's the Lakeshore Center for the Arts and maybe the library. I'm not sure exactly who sponsors it. In the Westfield Cemetery, it's the 19th and 20th. So I'm going to act in those this year.
The 19th and 20th?
Of September.
Of September.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to act in those this year, and I've been in a few plays with Lakeshore, and I keep thinking I'll do more, and I'm just busy. So.
I know. It gets hard to fit it all in, doesn't it? Well, okay, so you have music. Now, what about parking at the Busti Festival?
So we have a free parking lot. You access it from the Busti Sugar Grove Road. There'll be signs. There's a big sign that's Busti Historical Society Apple Festival, and then there's small signs for the event. So free parking, and then walk from there to the gate. I should say admission's $5. Children 12 and under are free, and then enjoy the festival.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I seem to remember going to it with people from the Resource Center, and it seemed like a field had been cleared off or something.
Right. So
for parking the cars.
The parking lot we're using is only a few years old. So
maybe what I'm thinking of.
It is a field, but it's fixed. We've got drainage, and there's, ropes to show you where to park. We used to park on the firemen's grounds that are next door. So we moved the parking onto our property, and I think it's a lot nicer myself, and closer. It's not quite as long of a walk to get to the festival.
Yeah, it was quite a long walk. I remember that. It seemed like it was on the side of a hill or something. Yeah. I remember, in fact, I think I remember the first time I brought people to it. It seems to me we were parking at the sides of the streets and having to kind of hike down from where we were parked.
Yeah, so we've tried to eliminate that, just it's a safety concern. So like I said, I encourage everybody to use our parking lot. There's plenty of room, and it's a lot nicer than street parking.
Sometimes you run into people you know while you're there. I remember, and this again was the first time that I brought people over to the Busti Apple Festival, and it was after we had made the rounds of all of the things that were going on, and we were walking up the street to where the van was parked, and all of a sudden somebody recognized one of the guys that was with me, and he hollers out to me, "Hey Gail, wait," so he could introduce me to these people that he knew. And they said they'd always wondered what had happened to him. They hadn't seen him in a long time. He must have lived with his family or something for a while. Now, who else is involved in? Who else do you work with? I know your mom works there, but you must have other people that help. Who would they be?
So primarily it's the work of the Historical Society. We do have student volunteers from the Honor Society at Southwestern School that come and help us for the day. But we always need volunteers. So if you want to work, all or part of the festival, come on down. We'll give you a job. And is there a phone call that they can call, or do they have to email? The best way to get a hold of us is by email. It's bustihistorical@gmail.com. It's just the most direct way, and say, hey, I want to help out, and like I said, we'll find you a job. But it is a big undertaking, and there's really relatively few behind the scenes people. We're working really hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now, how did you go about becoming part of the Busti Historical Society? How did that happen?
I live in Mayville. I don't live in Busti, but I used to work for the Fenton History Center. I don't anymore.
Oh, is that how you know Joni Blackman?
Yes. So Joni is the current director at Fenton, but she's also the director for Busti Historical Society.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And so I worked there, and when I left that job, I wanted to stay connected with Norman Carlson. He's now our county historian.
Right.
And I worked with him at Fenton. He's a good friend. So I said, well, I'll get involved in Busti. And by then I was already demonstrating for him, demonstrating flax. So we joined Busti.
Demonstrating flax?
Yes. So the process of turning flax into linen, flax breaking for the festival. I'd already been recruited by that for that, and I said, I want to get involved. And so we joined and started going to meetings, and you don't have to live in Busti to be part of the Busti Historical Society. And there's always fun stuff to do. And
yeah, well, that sounds pretty interesting. Did you get acquainted with Norman Carlson through the Fenton people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you go to anything that's historical, you will probably see him there.
Yep.
I remember we went to a lecture back in the winter. It was on antique pottery, I believe. Yeah, he showed up there.
Yeah.
He shows up at things that my husband Carl's cousin Paul programs that Paul Johnson puts on. He, you just see him. He's acquainted with Devin Taylor. You probably know Devin
Yep.
Taylor, don't you? He's
Yep.
the Mayville, the village historian for the village of Mayville and the township of Chautauqua also.
Yeah.
Another thing you could try if you wanted to, you could try being an election inspector. Have you ever thought about
I
doing
did that a couple of times.
Did you do it
Yep.
a couple of times?
I'm not a big fan of politics in general, so it was okay, but I don't know if it's something I want to do again.
I remember being at a little craft show at the Methodist Church in Mayville, and that's when I first met you and your mom. And your parents got a necklace from me for you. Do you remember that necklace?
Yes, I believe it was snowflake obsidian.
You got that
Uh-huh.
right. Yes,
I still have it somewhere.
Snowflake obsidian. Yes, I remember that. You like that one because it's a black stone that look at with white areas that look like snowflakes on it. So yeah, you remember that. When the person who couldn't be here today recommended you, said she was going to try to line you up for me today. At first I didn't think of it, but after I got off the phone from her, I thought, wait a minute, I think I know who that is, because we sat, your mom and I were next to each other at that little craft show, and that's how I met them the first time. So does she sell her miniatures at the Busti Apple Festival?
No, we're busy enough doing other stuff that we don't usually have a table. We did donate some stuff that we made to the country store. Not miniatures, but some of our other crafts are available in there, and that the proceeds benefit the Historical Society. We're not, it's not consignment or whatever. We donated them. So some of our other stuff is there for sale, but we don't have our miniatures there. There's just so much other stuff for us to do that we haven't.
Have the two of you done other craft shows?
Yeah, we don't do a whole lot. We've done a few others. We mostly sell miniatures online. On
okay.
Etsy, so.
Okay. Look. Chris came up with a picture for us.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like an Amish house.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh, is that the?
That's the mill, about 1910.
Oh, this is a 1910 picture.
Yep, there's another view.
And is this the grist mill also?
So that's 1972. That's when they started the restoration. That's taken from the Stillwater Creek, which is the water that powered the mill. So we're out behind it in this picture. Early 70s. So as you can tell from the other pictures, we've come a long ways.
Yes, yes, you have. Yeah, these pictures were taken in the fall, were they?
I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, these, not the old, you wouldn't know about the old ones, but in all the pictures it looked like the trees are bare.
Yeah, so they're probably winter. There's where we're bringing in the millstones. So there's a picture from one of our first festivals. They're quilting.
Oh, this was back almost 50 years ago then,
Yeah.
that picture?
This is inside the mill. Well, they were still working on it. What was that one? Setting the millstones.
Yeah. Well, was that the original millstone that came with the mill?
No. So the stones were, we do have part of them, but not all of them. These stones came out of another mill, and they're, it's a stone called French burr. It comes from France, and it's hard. And it's harder than the local stones. So when the mill started, they would have been local stone, and those need replaced more often and dressed more often.
See.
So these are they're the right time period and everything. They just came out of another mill.
Yeah, it's from France. Wow.
Yeah. There's another picture when they were working on it.
Yeah. Okay, so did the Historical Society have to hire people to do the restoration?
So it was mostly done by volunteers. They had some people that know mills that help. There's a organization, it's called the Society for the Preservation of Old Mills. They were very helpful. Busti are members of that society, and our founding members did most of this work themselves. And you can see them in part of these pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The mill is powered by turbines in the basement instead of a water wheel.
Oh, okay.
So the water's diverted under the mill, and it turns these turbines, and that's what originally turned the millstones. Now we have it electrified. There's a motor that does it.
Okay.
But they've restored it and made it run, and you can still see, the hand-hewn beams and everything.
Hand-hewn beams.
Yep.
Oh.
It's quite the building.
Oh.
It is open for the whole festival. So.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I know. We did a couple of years or so ago. We did a couple of episodes of the restoration of the Ripley Library. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
It is. So. They've done a tremendous amount of work. We're still working on the Miller's house, which is across the street. Was built by Francis Soule, the guy that built the mill, and that house was lived in continuously until 2011. So we're making it look like it looked in the 1850s.
Oh, okay. There were actually people who lived in it until then. Was it various different families over the years? Were they renting it?
Yeah. So the gentleman that built the mill, he and his wife and her sister lived there, and then over the years, the people that ran the mill, the Miller's family lived there. So there were several different families, and then it became a rental property. So I've had several people tell me, "Oh, I know somebody that used to live there," or "I used to live there."
Oh gosh!
Over the years, and when it came up for sale, the Historical Society got it, and we're, like I said, making it look like what it would have looked like in the 1850s. So it's open for tours, or it's still under construction. You'll see, it needs painted and trimmed and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we do have it open. There's a wood stove, cook stove. We've modernized it a little bit. There's, electricity and that kind of stuff. But
so you can turn lights on.
Yeah, and plug in something if we need to. But so wood stoves, and it's just a really fun.
So the house was built by the man that built the grist mill. Was he actually the miller that ran the grist mill?
To begin with, yes.
Yep.
So Francis Soule was his name, and he built the mill and operated it. And then he was in business with various partners, and eventually he sold it and stayed running. But he built the house across the street, and he lived there for quite a while.
Okay, so the house is not much younger than
No,
the
it's
grist mill.
the mill. It says 1839. The house is about 1854, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, been around almost as long.
Yeah. This guy is demonstrating something.
Yeah, that's a picture from a few years ago of a flax demonstration. So he's scutching flax.
He's stretching it?
Scutching, it's called.
Stutching?
Scutching.
Scutching.
Yep.
Okay.
You take a wooden knife and scrape over it to trying to get the outside covering off. So that's what he's doing.
That looks like soap?
That does look like soap. I'm not sure if we have anybody making soap this year. There's a volunteer with a hit and miss engine.
A hit and miss engine?
Mm-hmm. The historic
What would
antique
that?
engine.
What would that be an engine for? Do you know?
I'm not sure. They use them for all kinds of things. There's a loom set up in the
And that must be
museum.
flax that's being woven there?
Probably. That's our schoolroom.
Oh, you have a schoolroom?
Yeah. So in the museum, there's an area with school desks.
The old-fashioned school
Yeah.
desks.
So that's actually where the library story time is going to be on Sunday. 1 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll be in the schoolroom.
And there's the pie. Is it mostly apple pies?
We have apple, cherry, raspberry, black raspberry, peach, and I know I'm forgetting one.
Let's see, what else?
I know they're fruit pies. I never remember the full list. They're pressing cider.
Oh, okay, so that's a cider press.
Yeah. Yep. So
And that looks like either a llama or an alpaca.
I think that's an alpaca. These pictures are from a few years ago.
They are very cute, aren't they,
Yeah.
those alpacas?
They're selling apples.
Candles?
Yep. This is Civil War surgeon. He'll be there this year.
Oh, a Civil War surgeon?
We do have some Civil War reenactors coming, weather permitting. They got rained out the last couple of years.
Oh, okay.
But this gentleman will be in the demonstration building, and he talks about medical practices and
Okay,
Civil
is he
War.
an actual doctor?
I don't think so.
Just somebody
He
who learned about
reenacts
how they did things
As a reenactor,
back
he
then.
does
Yeah.
portrays that. I realized I skipped some important details about the Apple Festival.
Oh, okay.
This year, it's new. We're going to have a tram around the grounds. So once you get inside, there's looks like a train that it's made onto a tractor with a wagon. So you can, once you get all the way down to the food vendors and you're ready to go home, we can give you a ride back up to the parking lot. But also, for years, our volunteers have been dressing in historic costumes.
Oh,
so
okay.
Colonial, 1800s, Victorian, Civil War. So this year we're inviting our visitors to dress up too. So if you have a historic inspired costume, wear it. Come join the fun.
Okay.
So I'm usually in a Civil War era dress for the festival, and we'd like everybody to.
Everybody,
it's not required.
everybody who comes, you like it if they could.
Yeah, I mean, it's not required, but I think it would be fun. And I know personally, I have costumes that I never get a chance to wear. So this is a chance to wear your historic costume.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have anything that's actually old and historic. I do have long skirts, though.
Like I said, set the mood, make it festive.
Yeah, because even if it's kind of a modern day ankle-length skirt, you can usually wear something like that for something like that. So, it's kind of fun to get dressed up, isn't it? People don't get dressed up too much anymore.
Yeah, like I said, I know I own a bunch of costumes that I always think, I wish I could wear this somewhere. When the Apple Festival. Yep, so that's inside the mill. That was a few years ago. With the millstone there in the center, so that's where we grind the corn. Those are smaller mills that were restored by our members for demonstration. They used to take those and exhibit them other places, but they're very, very heavy.
Oh, yeah.
We still use them. Use them to grind wheat and buckwheat. There's the big stones.
Yep.
There's
What's that little building over to the left?
so the white building is not there anymore.
Oh, it's not there
nope.
anymore. Okay.
It was in disrepair. It was removed a
Okay,
couple
it
years
was
ago.
pretty run down
Yeah,
then.
it just old buildings.
Yeah.
So, it's not there anymore. But
That's
inside
looks
the
like
museum.
a sled.
Yep. So that's inside the museum. It's been redone since then. I really need to update the pictures on the website. But we have a general store area, just to kind of give an idea of what an old general store looked like. There's the schoolroom again. You can sit in the desks and imagine what it was like to be a student.
I see there's benches out
Yeah,
towards
those
the
are
walls, away from the desks.
those are church pews from a church in Busti. And we've actually moved one to storage just for safety.
Okay, so
But there's still one there. You can see it.
So does the church they came from still exist?
No. I believe that church was torn down. There's a interactive post office in the museum. So it's the first post office from Busti. It's a big cabinet. And at that time, the post office would move from house to house, whoever was the postmaster.
Oh, it would be at the postmaster's house.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's the mailboxes. So we've moved it out and protected it so that you can see the labels with the names of who had those boxes. And we fixed it so there's some pretend mail. Kids can, act as the postmaster and put it in the little slots and stuff. So it's a pretty fun.
Can you actually mail something from it?
No. So Busti itself doesn't have a post office anymore.
Oh.
So our address is Jamestown. It is within the Jamestown post office. But we used to. Busti used to have a post office.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a train ride you can go on down in Titusville, Pennsylvania. It goes to near Oil City, and then you turn around and come back to Titusville. And I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but they had a post office on the train, and you could purchase a postcard and mail it from the train to a friend or relative. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. So, if they ever wanted to try something like that at your museum.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. We might someday. It's a little trickier now with regulations to do that. But I know at our Christmas event, we have it set up so you can send a letter to Santa. We take them to mail at the post office, but you can send a letter from Busti to Santa at our Christmas event.
Oh, yeah. So, letters to Santa. I wonder what you would do about that now.
Yeah.
That looks like a cash register and a scale.
Yeah. So there's a meat scale and a cash register. Those are in our country store exhibit.
Now that's an older picture.
That
isn't
is
it?
an older picture. However, there are horse-drawn carriage rides and pony rides at the festival. So I'm not sure who's doing this one, but there will be somebody there this year doing that.
And there's somebody got something going in a kettle over a little bit of a fire there.
Looks like they were cooking something.
Or maybe, would it have something to do with soap making?
It might.
And there's somebody...
He's doing leather work. It's one of our demonstrators. He'll be there this year. Usually lets the kids try some leather work.
And there's your sign.
Yep.
Busti Historical Society, founded in 1972.
Yep. Yes.
And this is woodworking.
Yep.
I
We
wonder,
do have
I wonder what
woodworker.
that is that person was making.
I'm not sure.
Is
actually. That is some of the bottles from the
well,
Civil War doctor.
yeah, that the one says creosote
Yep.
and moisture manufacturing. Calomel. I guess that's not something I'm familiar with.
Yeah. A lot of the medicines of the old days aren't necessarily anything we would use now.
No, I suppose not. And this looks like a display of Honey and the Bears.
Yep,
And
honey and maple
syrup in the leaf-shaped bottle. That's really nice. Okay, there's the kettle again.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I
what
wonder
they were
if that
cooking.
might have been
That might have been soap making.
That might have had something to do with
We've
soap
had
making.
lots of different historical demonstrations over the years. We don't have people to do all of the things anymore. For a second, there was somebody cutting shingles. Yep, that's shingle making.
Shingle making?
mhm.
Oh, I just knew he was splitting wood.
Yep. So you can see the board in the background has shingles mounted on it. That's actually on display there still. We just don't have anybody to cut shingles this year. So
okay.
we would love more historical demonstrators. You know, if
somebody
any of our
knows how to do
viewers
something,
are
yeah.
Either know how to do something or would like to learn, we would love that. As just like any other society, as our members have gotten older, we don't have the help we had at one time, and so there's certain things that I might not be there this year, but might be next year. You never know.
Yeah, those old wooden shingles. People are going more towards other kinds of materials for siding now. They have like people where you can get, I can't remember what they said they were made out of, you know, the new siding, but it's something where you never have to paint your house again after you put it on.
They're
so.
making out of some sort of plastic stuff that
Yeah.
isn't supposed to have to be painted. And
Yeah. And there are some of the apples.
these apples.
Don't they look good? I mean, you could just go grab one and start eating it. And there's some people, and they're
Yep.
wearing name tags,
Yeah.
standing on a porch
Yep, that's in front of the mill.
at the mill.
That's another view inside the museum of some of our historic farm implements.
Is that that one thing in the picture? Was that in the kind of towards the center? Is that one of those things that helps you move something that's heavy?
Yep.
Can't think of what
yeah,
it's called.
Dolly.
Dolly, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And there is some
they're doing
ladies.
needlework.
They must be working. Is that a demonstration?
That is a demonstrator. I'm not sure if they're coming this year, but somebody's knitting. There's somebody blacksmithing.
Oh yeah.
It's a
And-
display that was up that year for.
Oh, that's a display. It's not stuff for sale.
No.
No.
And there's some antique tools.
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
year that was.
And
That looks like log hewing.
log hewing. So they demonstrate that there then.
I think we have somebody that's going to do some log hewing this year.
Do they, by any chance, the people that do the log hewing, do they ever do it as a business and make them for people? I was just curious.
I
because
don't know of anybody that's doing that now. The demonstrator we used to have, he's older now, and he said he's too old to hew a log. He's done. But
Because
we
I
have
know a lot of houses that were built like back in the 1800s and like that had hand-hewn beams and things.
I
in
think
them.
there are some Amish around that are doing it. Of course, now there's ways to do those things faster, but
I know,
we like
I
to
know.
show how it used to be. So, as far as I know, we'll be have a hewing demonstration
a lot
this year.
of manufacturing equipment didn't always exist.
Right.
You know, we have a lot of things now that people had to make their own
Yeah.
things. People used to have to do their laundry, wash their laundry by hand on an old washboard.
Yep.
So now you can start a load of laundry and go in the other room and do something else while you're waiting for it to
I appreciate a
wash.
lot of the modern conveniences.
Yeah, me too. So nowadays, women can get jobs outside of the home because they have modern machinery that they can do their chores with.
Well, even in the 1800s, a lot of women were they were doing a lot of work, the chores, but some of these things, spinning and weaving, and were done at home. They were done by the women, and they would take on jobs like extra laundry if times were tough. Or
Yeah, I think a lot of Amish people still do do a lot of that stuff the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
For some reason, they want to. Well, we're down to a minute, so I would like you to repeat where they can get information. People can get information about the festival and what the times are, the date.
Yeah, the Busti Apple Festival is always the last weekend in September. This year it's the 27th and 28th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, you can visit our Facebook, Busti Historical Society, or our website, it's bustihistoricalsociety.weebly.com. The best way to find that is just to Google Historical Society. And admission for the festival is $5 for adults, and children 12 and under are free. There's free parking off the Busti Sugar Grove Road, and we do ask that you leave your pets at home.
No pets.
No, but service animals are welcome, but no pets.
Only if they're service animals. Okay. Well, thank you again so much for being on Fresh Perspectives today. I really appreciate that you stepped up to do this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And I will see those of you in the viewing audience when I do the next episode.